Alrighty gang, welcome back to my Legions of Nagash Total War Warhammer 3 Let's Play. And where we left it off, we are being assailed once more by Infectique. His boutique of infections has decided that he wants to go and sally against us once more, trying to avenge the loss of his many brethren. Unfortunately for him though, it's not going to pan out the way he hopes. He couldn't take this settlement with 3 armies. He's not going to take it with just 1, especially as wounded as they are. Now, the biggest threat here is, of course, going to be the fire teams. That mutant rat ogre is going to be pretty monstrous. His storm vermin, fortunately enough, are not that lethal to us. We have a absolute load of archers that we can set up on the walls, not including our regiments of renown. And we are going to absolutely decimate the enemy. I'm going to play this battle out, and you are going to join me for that, because replays are kind of scuffed for defensive sieges because of the towers. It doesn't integrate the tower level in the battle replay, so the desync starts from the beginning, and it just gets worse the longer you watch it. So we're going to watch this one, and hopefully it'll be something entertaining. I will see you all there. Alrighty now, this is my second time doing this because first time I recorded this situation right here, this battle, my power went out. So, and it was right after I got done with all the tedious deployments. So we're gonna try and speed this up a little bit, make it a shorthand version. Of course, what you can do here is you can, whenever you want, you can take your unit cards and slide them around. It's very useful for trying to organize things. We are going to take our bats, we're going to put them on the flank, we're going to get ready to sally out and tear down their siege weapons. For the most part, we are going to get everybody off the wall. We're going to put our ranged units back up there. Range units cannot be ripped off the wall. The wall can be destroyed except for the small sections by the towers and the gates. So even despite their artillery advantage, we can hold our ground pretty dang well. And we're going to focus on that. We're going to put about three archer units per section. Our most healthy units that can do the most damage are going to be on the indestructible parts of the wall, or as close to them as we can. Meanwhile, our weaker units are going to be on the flanks, just trying to pour down as much fire as we can. We're going to put about 1 or 2 melee units per flank here, so that way they can defend the archers when the enemies reach the walls, because the enemy loves to store ladders in suspect locations. They're very good at getting through airport security on that one. They're not gonna have to worry about no 20 fluid ounce bottles on their flight. We're gonna put the Cairn Wraiths on the flanks with the gates. We are going to give our 2 units of Ushabti towards the center, and then we're gonna put 1 unit of our Bone Golems on either flank beside that to protect them. Our Legendary Lord, you know what, we might get him to sally out. We might get him to sally out, indeed. We're going to put our Nagash on the choke points to prevent the enemy from breaking through our settlement. We are going to put down 2 barricades right here. We're going to put our 3rd unit back in the courtyard, so by the time the enemy tries to flank through the settlement, they will have been hit by the barricade. Of course, the barricade blocker means that the AI is not gonna, I don't know if they're gonna be smart enough to attack it. It's gonna take too long for them, so they're gonna try and go around. In that case, we can put our last unit of Nagash Guard on this right choke point right here, and that way we can funnel the enemies down our choke points that already have units defending them. We only have 3 areas inside the settlement from where we're at, and we're going to utilize that to our best ability. Our Our bleh zombies are going to be split up. We have 2 units of Regiment Renown in the center. We're going to focus our zombies as meat shields on the flanks. And meanwhile, that leaves our bone throwers. Our bone throwers are probably not going to have enough range to hit their artillery units. Let's see. No, not even close. And our walls are going to be in the way of the shots. So we are going to keep them up here on this plateau. Maybe here they'll be able to get a few shots. We're going to tell them to hold fire for right now. We do not want to bombard our own units if we can help it. Now that the battle is ready, our units are set. We are going to get ready to deploy. And as the enemy advances, we're going to send out our bats to the right flank. We are going to do what we can here. That's a pretty big hole in the wall, if you don't mind me asking. They could just put a few ladders down, put a pontoon or something in that lake, and then climb back up the other side. Now the enemy is going to start bombarding us on the wall. Of course, being weakened as they are, we're not going to worry about that too much. They're going to sit there and bombard us as they can. Enemy forces are starting to advance on our bridge. You can see now our towers do a tremendous amount of damage as they advance. The Doom Wheel has advanced as well. Our archers are sallying out to fire at them. Can we... Oh, we have our Legion ability, so we're going to use that to bombard the enemy artillery. Our bows are now ready. We are going to take our units here. We're going to focus our whole unit on their archers. We're going to split up our other weakened units to attack the enemy in the flank, so that way our bats can get enough. This is probably going to be their last sally, but we're going to do what we can for it. We had destroyed their Doom Wheel with the overwhelming fire. The archers are retreating. We are going to... Oh wow, we did a significant amount of damage to them with that. That's good. Their plague claws are pretty lethal. Can we focus our arrow tower on something? We can. We can left click. We're going to focus on the warp lightning cannons. Do as much as we can there. And as you can see, the bombardment is carrying on. This is like the Star Spangled Banner right here, except a little less heroic, a little more evil. I don't know who to... I don't know who you would be rooting for, the Ratmen or the Undead. I suppose the Ratmen are the good guys in this story. They're not trying to end all life on the planet. We are. So, fortunately for us, our siege units are more lethal. Meanwhile, our bats have disintegrated, unfortunately. They have done their duty and sent off the warp lightning cannons, but there is no way we can pull out of this engagement. They're just kind of stuck there for right now. Unless, of course, we send our vampire over to assist. Meanwhile, bombarding the enemy as they flee. We are going to allow them to continue to bombard our walls. They've almost broken a hole through it, which will mean the rest of the army will probably try and get their way through. The enemy has summoned a unit... You know, I wonder. I didn't update it, but the siege beta has arrived, which means that the infantry's ability to just pop ladders on the walls has been removed. So I wonder if that might be why we're seeing the infantry just sitting out there. They do have the breach now. We are going to get our units set up to receive them. We're going to focus primarily on bombarding their weapon teams. We do not want those guys to start opening up on our breach. They're going to do a tremendous amount of damage on our clumped up forces. As they get off the beaches, Dog Green is open. The Storm Vermin now are going to do what they do best. They're going to get stuck in, or try to at least. But that is a weltering amount of fire. The flamethrowers are already retreating, and they're going to be harried the entire way. They're going to take a considerable amount of losses. This is the rat version of Fredericksburg, it would seem. Oh, they have a ladder on the walls. Let's see here. Oh, they can deploy ladders still. They just decided not to. The thing about using infantry with ladders is, sure, they're quick, but they do a tremendous amount of vigor reduction to your forces and make your units way more tired. And if you look at the unit card right there, you see how they're losing melee attack the more tired they get. That's not going to do them any favors. Their leadership as well is being hit quite tremendously. You can see the breakdown, but you do not want your better melee units to be tired when they're trying to set up shop here. We're going to put our zombies on the wall for right now. We're going to put our Cairn race on the wall as well. And we're going to check that breach. Yep. The rats have sallied forth from the breach. We're going to take our archers off the wall, and they're going to pepper the enemy. They're going to pepper the enemy there. We're going to send our Cairn race in as well to see them off. We're going to have our... taking a dip in the hole there. We're going to have our vampire count pop a overcast of Dan's Macabre to get that melee attack up. If you don't know, when you overcast it, it'll affect a unit in an area. So now all these units in that cone are now getting a plus 24 melee attack along with a plus 24 speed. So we're going to send them out there. We're going to take them off guard mode. They're going to just chase after these fools. We're going to get those archers. Apparently they want to sniff the rat before they shoot them. We're going to pull them back from the breach, and hopefully they can get some more shots off. Rats have gotten over the walls. We're going to send our Ushopti there to answer them. We're going to send the Revenants in as well. Their actual Master Assassin managed to land. We're going to send our Legendary Lord and his Nightmare over to take care of that. Meanwhile, our Cairn Race are going to cut down any enemy who dares to get over top of the wall. We're going to send... what else do we have to send there? We're going to send our zombies in as well. The enemy's going to rout, and army losses already. They didn't have enough men to begin with, and their army losses have tripped now, so they're going to run back to whichever hole they came out of. The battle... the third and final battle for Crimson Peak has been decided. We're not going to have any more threats to our homeland for right now. Alrighty, that was a decisive victory. The dead rise again. We managed to reclaim a few of our lost bats. We gained $2,000 from that battle. Again, bolstering our economy. Completely devastated. All of their range contingent, their most lethal units are now gone. We are going to acquire even more cash from that, and now they're going to scurry back out of the hole they came out of. Meanwhile, Gyros is deciding to ambush in the Bone Gulch. The wall succeeds, ambushers discovered, ally begins construction of outposts, and we gain more passive regeneration. So from that tail right there, Umar Helstein got another skill point. We are going to dump it off in Raise the Dead. We are going to give him more magic capabilities. Meanwhile, now we can finally sally out and attack these leftover remnants. We're going to be able to get both of them in a single battle. We are going to auto-resolve this. There is nothing left of them. We are going to destroy them, and we are going to return the captives for money. We're going to get as much cash as we can from these last few Skaven, and the threat has finally been relieved. Nagash is now safe and sound once more to proceed doing what it's doing. We don't really need any recruitment buildings from this place so far, and we don't need to recruit any more units for Umar. He's going to chill out there for some more turns, and hopefully we can get our economy back up and running. We need to make an additional 2,000 gold to break even. Nagash is going to advance. Can he reach... will he be able to reach Deff Gorge? Let us find out. We're going to put ourselves on normal stance real quick, and no, he will not. You can barely see it. There's a little bit of red right there. He cannot reach it, so we're going to keep him in encampment stance so he doesn't take any attrition. We're going to march him up to the walls, and look at him go. We're going to threaten... You're right, you guys are very unreasonable. They have a crap ton of Chaos Warriors and Blood Exalted and a few doggos, but that's not exactly a good siege defense, not especially when it comes to our Nagash Guard, which are overall slightly better. And with the powers that Nagash brings to the field and his heroes and the bone golems and the bone throwers, I think we're going to be in a pretty good spot to siege them. Meanwhile, Moxia has returned. We're going to have to bring an answer to that. We're going to send Archon to Numas to start arraying an army there. Unfortunately, he's just shy of the settlement. We're going to put him in march stance to get the rest of the way in. We have 9 more turns before we can get the Pyramid of King Far. That's going to be very annoying to build. We're going to continue to move Genevieve Duodane over to the Black Pyramid, and you can see now how that has given us a few more buckets of ducats right there. I believe our which one was it? Ah, it was this one. The Dominion of Over Divinity has expired. So that was 25% bonus income from all buildings. You can see now that that effect has been removed. We still have a few more abilities here to go over. That are still campaign effects, but we've lost the main one and we've lost our money. We're going to go into diplomacy and see if, real quick, we have anybody who wants to do any diplomacy whatsoever. Manfred wants a military alliance. We are going to take it, and we're going to get 500 bucks from him for it. We're going to accept that, and we are going to move on. The Black Pyramid is empowered, and Nagash is ascended. Travel onwards and crush the foolish living underfoot. Click this button to make Nagash and the Black Pyramid fly to the settlement of your choice within the radius. This ability can only be used once per turn. Oh my good heavens, we have a teleport. I could have been using that this... Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. So I could just... Yeah, I can just have him teleport to a settlement of his... Oh boy. I could have teleported him to Deff Gorge and just had him attack. Well, I don't know if he could teleport from there. That's alright. Alright, building upgrades available. We're going to increase our cans because we want him to get more money. Otherwise, there's not much we want here. We're going to upgrade Nagash to get more cash. And I think that'll be all for now. We're going to save our money because we have about 6 turns of income before we go into the red. We are constantly battling our own expenditure. Moxia has taken out our vassals at Argul Migdal. And more Khornate. We have a war on our hands. These... Khornate bloodthirsters are coming out swinging. We're going to have to make an answer to that once we finish up the right flank on Deff Gorge, and hopefully, with our support and Manfred and our vassal, we will be able to advance further out. Manfred looks like he's ticked off from that. He's going to start sending some of his armies up north to answer this invasion of the Chaos forces. The Chaos Gods do not like Nagash. They do not like the idea of their worshippers all being undead, soulless husks. So they're going to try and stop us every tooth and nail, because if there's no one to worship Chaos, there's... Okay, so we got allies. Our vassal has decided to attack the settlement, and we are going to assist them. It says it's a Pyrrhic victory. The settlement is a walled settlement. There's going to be a lot of damage coming in our way, but hopefully we'll be able to defeat them. We're going to assist our allies in this battle, and I will see you all on the battle map to decide this fate. Alrighty, gang. Now we have the Ghoul King and his forces marching out into Deff Gorge. They have split themselves up into two formations. They have Ludwig von Deal, Steinberg's long-lost cousin, and they're both of them's long-lost corpse cousin on his back, apparently. He's taking the northwestern flank. The AI has decided not to put any troops on the wall, so their towers are not going to be a factor in this battle. They're going to try and do a defense in depth approach and hold the center, which, to be fair, they have no range units, but we have no range units either, so it's going to be interesting. Maybe their idea is they're going to wait for the towers to build and fight us underneath the towers where they can do the most range damage. Meanwhile, Weber von Falkenstein, it's Frankenstein. No doctors making life experiments here, just a crazy old ghoul king. Missed a few doses of Head and Shoulders in the shower. He's going to take his troops and he's going to march up the walls and try and assail this southern wall. Meanwhile, our forces, Nagash decided to crash his Black Pyramid inside the mountain. Look at that. That's quite hilarious. Our units are going to spawn out of that mountain. We've Gary's mod clipped in Nagash himself emerging from the corridor. We're going to try and take our time here. We're not going to exhaust our troops. We're going to just slowly walk our way out into the fort line, because it doesn't really matter if the enemy or our allies lose troops. They're our vassal. Their lives are no concern of ours. We're going to have Hans Lambda and Oftos fly as quickly as they can to provide support, because those two are going to be the ones that we can use to take out the enemy's towers as they build them, as they have. They are currently building them right now. They're getting ready to sit up here. And now, poor old von Falkenstein, Weber, is not going to make any dictionaries. He's just going to sit there and he's going to start slaughtering these Khornate berserkers. However, he is going to be surrounded and he's going to be taking a lot of damage. His melee defense is not greater than their melee attack, and they do magical defense, which means his physical resistance is not going to hold for too long. He is going to get stuck in. He's going to do what he can, but he is just one man, one beast. He's going to have to wait for his allies to climb up the walls, and they're going to take their sweet time. Obviously, he's not been paying them their wages. They don't get paid enough for this. And our troops are way too far behind to get reinforcements. Actually, for the most part, this battle, only Nagash, the Tomb Scorpion, and Alphostos and Hans Lambda are going to really impact the battle in any way. Our troops are going to be just taking too long to deploy. Meanwhile, their Crypt Horrors have managed to get into the settlement. They are going to rip apart these Exalted as quickly as they can, but I believe the Exalted, the regular Bloodlayers of Khorne are a match for them. Ludwig von Deal is going to lead his troops into the foray. It's an interesting color scheme having a Necromancer in all white. Maybe he's modeling for Coach. That looks like a $300 Coach purse right there. Are they still $300? I don't know. My sisters haven't drugged me into a purse store in a long time. Our two Archai have finally arrived in the settlement, and their main priority is going to be taking these towers. There's no threat to them from the troops on the ground. We're going to try and do what we can to help our allies take as minimal damage as possible. And speaking of which, Falkenstein has finally collapsed. He's taking a big old nap. Look at him. He's tired. He may come back. He may not. That's no concern of ours. I mean, look at those feet. Has he not heard of a pedicure? His forces are going to be immediately blocked at the base of the wall. Just getting torn up there. We're going to try and reinforce them as quickly as possible. Nagash is almost at the walls. They haven't broken through yet. These Crypt Horrors are taking their sweet time on the gate. Meanwhile, our forces are going to keep destroying their towers as quickly as possible. The enemy, of course, is piling in. They are dogpiling the enemy forces. If this was just our vassal's army, he would be in a world of pain right now. Not a good start for him. They're going to catch Von Deal out in the open, and being a Necromancer Lord, he doesn't have the best stats at all, and he is going to really struggle. You can already see his health absolutely collapsing as those bloodletters are starting to really just spank him for being a naughty Necromancer. And his units are crumbling. They do not like fighting the bloodletters. They're smelly. They smell like iron and liver. Not a good time to be a undead here. We have almost worked our way through their towers. In fact, we have, and we're going to send Hans Lambda in to try and reinforce these allies. Give them something to go off of so that they don't completely collapse, and we have to wait for our troops, because our troops are going to take too long to arrive at the battlefield. And look at this descent. He is ready for this. He was born ready for this. He loves cleaving Khornate worshippers in twain. Demon or not, it doesn't matter. All will fall before his scythe, for he is Oftos. And just look at that destruction there. He's just not taking any chances. He's got Black Knights to support him. He's got Dire Wolves, and he's got Crypt Horrors as well. Or no, the Crypt Horrors are still trying to bash through the gates. They're really dedicated to their job. You can't fault them for it. They just want to make sure that gate does not survive before they get into the settlement there. We have destroyed that other tower. We're gonna bring Hans Lambda over to reinforce. We don't want Oftos to fight by himself. I mean, he's a very capable hero, but we don't want to risk losing him. Too valuable for us. Meanwhile, our allies on the northwestern flank are surrounded. They are not happy. They're about to crumble. This is going to be the end for them, unfortunately. They're going to be destroyed just as soon as they get over the first hurdle. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. The Vampire Count's units aren't necessarily the most rigid or durable. And unfortunately, they did not bring the numbers to counteract their own faction's debuffs. So, before we get Hans Lambda into the engagement, we're going to have him destroy this other tower that the enemy brought into, and the enemy army built. When you destroy a tower, that building slot is locked, so they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to rebuild on that spot. They're going to keep getting supplies ticked up, but they're not going to build. Meanwhile, Nagash has officially arrived. He's going to announce his presence with an abyssal swarm. Going to start ripping through those enemies there. We're going to try and get these troops to be back to full strength. Nagash has plenty of healing spells to get those troops up. We do not want their units to completely decay, because if that happens, we're not going to have any reinforcements or any allies. We are going to spawn that Soul Stealer magical ability, and you can see there how quickly it is healing our units in an area of effect. That is a beautiful spell. It doesn't do too much damage to the enemy, but it doesn't have to. With that capability, those Black Knights that were almost gone are going to get almost completely up to full health, except for the regen cap, of course. And they're going to provide even more support to Lambda and Oftos. And our Tomb Scorpion has joined. I think we're going to name him Snippy. Next chance we get, remind me, and I'm gonna rename him to Snippy. He is a very, very good boy. He is doing what he loves, and he is going to rip these Khornate berserkers in twain. Oh my goodness. And Nagash himself has arrived on the battlefield, and he is terrifying everyone who dares to strike against him. Of course, never mind the fact that he's a terrible driver, but that's okay. He doesn't need to be a good driver, as he is the herald of death and decay. And he has a very impeccable hat. You know, it's probably no wonder they never show his neck, because it's probably wedged in between his shoulder blades. I mean, if I had a hat that was made like that, that looks like it's made out of like obsidian or steel or something like that, I imagine my head would have shrunk into my shoulders from that. We're going to sally our boys out, Oftos and Lambda. We're going to send our Tomb Scorpion and his horde of summoned units out. They're going to destroy the barricade. We're going to let our allies do whatever they want to do. They're probably going to focus on taking these little settlement points. We're going to try and go towards the center of the settlement and capture it as soon as we can. The victory location, of course, the plaza is locked. We have to attack the key building in order to unlock it, in order to claim the settlement. But I don't think we're going to have to worry about that too much because Khorn loves battle, and they're going to try and get stuck in as soon as possible. Lambda and Optos fighting back-to-back. These Khornate warriors are going to try and slow them down, but they have no chance. These boys have been veterans of tens of battles against Khorn. And look at that little tail. Just a slightly undersized, disproportionate tail there. It's just so funny to me. I really like too how they have just like skulls packed in their rib cage that like ooze necrotic energy. A really cool unit model. And you can see it's taken no time at all to work through that Khorn unit. Lambda, even though he's gotten into the battle a little bit late, already has 36 kills. Optos is showing him up with 88. This is a Gimli and Legolas situation here. Optos really showing off, just flinging these boys. The game does have fall damage. Obviously not this height, but if you knock a unit off the wall and he lands on the ground, he will die. Which these guys would be great for sieges because you can land them on the walls, and with their knockback and their mass, they will just be flinging troops off the walls to their death, just shredding them to pieces. And these Khornate warriors did not stand a chance. It's going to take us a long time to get through that barricade blocker. As I told you in the last battle, the barricade blockers have an insane amount of health. This is their main duty, is to just make it less likely for the AI. You can see the AI here. They're going to take their chances with the barricade platform instead of the blocker because of how much more health it has. This is like the way to corral the AI into paths that you want them to take. The dogs are not done, though. They want more blood, and unfortunately it's going to be theirs that is shed, and they decided that that's not worth it, and the dogs have run away again. Optos is continuing to just fling blood worshippers of Khorn, and Lambda is picking up on it too. He is flinging Khornate worshippers onto the field. We have almost broken through. Once we do, Snippy and Nagash are going to finally be able to enter this center plaza here. Meanwhile, that has given Khorn enough time to bring his garrison from the other side of the field over to hopefully do a final stand here in this center plaza. They're merging all their forces together for one last hurrah. Crypt Horrors are going to join us on the field, and Steinberg von Deal has heard his cousin has collapsed and is going to be enraged by that. He's going to take vengeance on these Khornate worshippers. Look at him sally forth on his barded warhorse. Meanwhile, Nagash and Snippy now are advancing. Snippy, being the goodest boy, is going to be at his master's heel the entire battle until he can answer the battle, or the call to arms. We have summoned another Abyssal Swarm here just to give the enemy a slight peppering of damage, just to show him what for. Nagash can't reach him yet, but he is going to try. Our boy Lambda is taking an assessment of the battle. I think we're going to send him off to attack that tower over there in the rear, or we might just say screw it and drop him in. Optos, of course, is not going to let his brother show him up. He's going to keep tearing apart, and look at that. He just absolutely eviscerated that Khornate worshipper. He's going to have a closed casket funeral for sure. And man, this is just so fun to watch. You got an absolute mosh pit of Khornate worshippers, and you got just one dude in the center just tearing them apart. No chance. I wonder if the towers are special, because I don't remember my Tomb Scorpion walking around the flank there. We summoned another siphoning here. I think we're suffering a desync because this was a mosh pit right now. Not like it matters anyway. I believe Ophiostos would be able to take him out all by himself, but he would have had the Tomb Scorpion and Nagash helping him. But yeah, just more Khornate worshippers coming in and doing minimal damage. Each strike they take cleaves off like 10 of his health, but it doesn't matter because he is just absolutely shredding them no matter what they do. And yeah, that was another unfortunate desync there. You missed out on the best parts, being that Nagash, the Tomb Scorpion, and Hans Lambda were all joined. We just absolutely wrecked face here, but it doesn't matter. This was a decisive victory in the favor of Nagash. Oh, I forgot I wasn't recording there for a minute. So we managed to succeed at the Battle of Deff Gorge. Minimal losses on our side. We were able to win it pretty much with our Morgai, our Morghast of Arkai, and our Tomb Scorpion with the help of Nagash's spells there. Our allies decide to take it. That's fine. That's what we wanted. We wanted a defensive north side. And, hold on. Excuse me. We are going to continue our march. We're going to move to the west now. We're going to start marching towards Moxia and his large army of troops. He's got a legendary hero, Khornate, that spooky dog, and a decent amount of exalted bloodletters. There's going to be a nasty fight. We can perform a rite now. Dominion over death. Upkeep minus 75% for direwolves, fellbats, vargeist, and sandcrawlers. Minus 75% for construct units. Minus 75% for all ghoul and zombies. Wow. For 5 turns, 3/4 of the upkeep on about over half of our forces goes down to nothing. Spawns army at Nagash's location. Yeah, why not? Ooh, very good. So now we get an extra army, and this army is just a bunch of chaff, except for that one unit of Nagash Guard and the Spirit Hosts. The leader Aharos is going to join us as well. He will provide support. He has
Address me as your highness.
5 turns. We can utilize him for 5 turns. We're going to do that. Building upgrades. We have our upkeep building. We're going to build it up even more. I don't think there's any point really in upgrading him further for Archon. I think what we will do is we will recruit him a small horde of forces just to provide as a defensive garrison for right now for Newmass until it gets up to strength. We're about to come up on Newmass, getting to tier 2, which will give us even more money, more growth. Former site of Black Pyramid, we don't really need to upgrade anything off that because that's just recruitment buildings.
I thirst.
Genevieve, unfortunately for you, you're not really generating that much income as much as I hoped. Is there any other locations that we're making decent amounts of cash from? Not particularly. The only other place I can think of dropping you off at is Nagash Guard, and that's making less than the Black Pyramid is. What about up north? We forgot about the Silver Pinnacle. Now the Silver Pinnacle is built. We can start building those gemstones, and we can start building another Chasm of Souls, income from post-battle loot, another plus 3%. That will be absolutely quintessential. We need to keep getting that post-battle loot because there's going to be lots of battles in our future. And if we can keep making like 5 to 6 grand off these big battles, we can keep the ball rolling, at least while we're making negative income. So now we got some skill points to assign. We are going to get both the Harbinger spell which summons all those heroes, the Lich, the White King, and the Fleet Captain to Nagash. And we are going to get the Hand of Dust, which is that one spell that he can just click on an enemy unit and just evaporate them. Strong, massive magical damage against a single entity unit. We are going to look forward to that. Actually, I lied to you. I'm sorry. We're going to get the Solkheim, the Hand of Dust, or Sula Kim. And then we're going to get his Supreme Lord of Undeath. The Supreme Lord of Undeath, the ultimate personification of death and the undead. An ancient evil being who seeks to conquer this cruel, chaotic world and bring about an age of undeath that will rule for all eternity. It's going to give us +8 attack and melee defense for Nagash, making him even more lethal. And then is also going to give him a physical resistance of 10%, which he is already at physical resistance of 20. So we're going to do that. We're going to make Nagash a bit more chunky. He's going to be able to do a lot more damage now when he gets stuck into the battle. He already is a great anti-infantry lord, as you can see from that last battle where him and his heroes managed to single-handedly defeat the Khornate garrison. Not a small feat at all. Oftos, we're going to give you Deadly Blade and Hard to Hit, get you a little bit more durable in those battles. Hans Lambda, you two are going to get more health. We want you to have even more health so you can get stuck in even longer. Steinberg von Deal, you saw the death of your cousin, another Deal, a necromancer Deal, who unfortunately did not survive that siege. But you carry on your family's legacy apparently, so we're going to upgrade you some more. We have Foe Seeker. We're going to get Foe Seeker so we can get you more weapon strength damage. Meanwhile, is there anything we can give you in the meantime? Don't need the Telian Pavese because that's not really going to help you any. Potion of Strength might be useful. Give you +50% base melee weapon damage and armor piercing weapon damage for 33 seconds. That might be good in the meantime against a hero or something. We're going to give you the Potion of Strength to hold on to. And that'll be about it. So we're going to end the turn now and see what the AI decides to do. Excuse me, I'm just a mess today. Alrighty, Volkmar the Grim has survived. He is now in Talakwa in the south, but I don't think for long because the Bloody Hands are chasing him down pretty hard. Drakenhof is moving north. Oh, he's gonna run, but are they gonna be able to catch up with him? We will find out. Nope, they're not. That is a lot of orcs. An absolute metric ton of orcs. This is going to be scary to fight against. It's going to be hordes versus hordes, and the orcs are a little bit more damaging than we are. Okay. So we have a neighbor up north. Okay. Oh, we also have... What do we do here? Clan Scryer's at war with Pirates of Sartosa, a ranged faction versus a ranged faction. I think Clan Scryer has it better because they got miniguns. Mission successful, research technologies. We got the Talisman of Preservation, that's 18% ward save. We definitely want that. Helms of Discord is going to cause a hex around the enemy of -24 melee attack and melee defense for 25 seconds. That's going to be pretty useful, and +20 armor to the wearer. We might give that to us. Deal. Steinberg von Deal. We've researched Bestow the Archai for Neferata, so that should mean that this this new hero, Sek Tasfi, I'm going to struggle. Sektasvis should have spawned relatively close to our Lord Neferata, and it did. We're going to make room for her. We are going to get rid of a unit of... I think we're going to get rid of a unit of skeleton warriors and dump them in there. We're going to give Neferata the income and the horde growth abilities, and we're going to upgrade her so she can get even more cash. We're going to give skill points to Sektafish. We're going to first give him the Heralds of the Accursed One. That's going to give him melee attack and physical resistance in an area of effect around himself. We're going to give him melee attack. We're going to increase his mobility by 2, so that way Neferata can march around the map a lot better. We're going to give him all of the stacks of Deadly Blade to boost up his melee attack by 12. We're going to give him 1 unit of Hard to Hit for 3 melee defense, and that will be his upgrades. We're going to tell Lust Erickson, Happy Leaf Erickson, to get the heck off our front lawn. We don't like him.
Yes, my sire.
We might attack him. Archon has unlocked his newest mount, Razarak, the Doom of Traitors. The Dread Abyssal, ridden by Archon the Black, was known to myth as Razarak. Whilst other Dread Abyssals scoured the depths of the underworld, Razarak always sought lofty perches from which to track its prey. Such behavior was well suited to its duties, for treachery is best judged on high. Let's see what he looks like. Oh my good heavens, look at that thing. What does that mean for Archon? His melee attack and defense are 41-45. His weapon strength is 587. He's got 7,000 hit points. Speaking of which, he's got a new skill point. We are going to give him the Fate of Buna so he can start targeting units and tearing them apart with that. The Fate of Buna is an excellent high damaging spell that targets enemy regiments and just tears them to pieces. We have an unusual location to the side of the Black Pyramids. What is it? It is the Crimson Skull Chambers. Khorne's sanction. Each time you declare war on a faction, all Khorne corruption in this province will be removed. This location will be extremely costly to remove. Holy cannoli on Stromboli. So, now, we need $15,000 to get rid of this place. And if we are not careful, Khorne corruption is going up by 17 each turn. It's already at 30. If we reach 100 Khorne corruption, Khorne's parting gift, you will instantly declare war on 10 random factions, and the location will be removed. When Khorne corruption is less than 50, base weapon damage of all of the region's owner armies are increased by 20%, and charge bonus plus 50% for all of the armies that we own. I do not want to declare war on 10 random factions. That is disastrous. I do not have enough money to get rid of it, though, so we are going to be in quite the pickle.
Yes, my sire.
We have no way to get rid of this. It's going to slowly be ticking up, too. I think what we're going to have to do... We don't have a... We don't have a commandment that reduces Khornate corruption. We don't have anything that reduces Khornate corruption, so we are kind of... We're kind of down the creek without a paddle, I'm afraid. We're going to build our income building up. We are going to get Spirit Siphon. We have the Pyramid of Prince Tutankhamun. It's not necessarily the best thing I've ever seen. Not a whole lot. Just some control, growth. Growth might be useful for all provinces. I don't know if that means every province that we own, but that might be worth looking into. We already got the purple building, which is our Chasm of Souls. We're going to get defenses here, so that this place will be a little bit more easy to defend. Meanwhile, we are going to... can Nagash reach? No, that is a river crossing.
Yes, grovel and beg. Next time.
We're going to send the Spawn Army up to attack Moxia. We're going to bring Nagash up too. Maybe Moxia will turn around and attack him. We'll find out. Can he reach if I were to get rid of his encampment? I don't think so, and I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk attrition in the mud. So already upgrade your income buildings. We can get another bit of research. We'll get the first vampire because that'll reduce the upkeep for vampire heroes by 50%, and each one of our heroes costs like 270 bucks, so that might help us get a little bit closer to the green. Including Genevieve here, who is a vampire, but it doesn't tell me she has upkeep. I don't think she does. Look at her. She's got a nice little pearl white dress. How befitting of a diplomat. We're gonna end turn real quick. The Khornates have decided to attack the our Manfred's armies and destroy them. I guess in terms of attrition, we want our allies to be taking the casualties. Legions of Astragoth are continuing to march around the Badlands. Gyros is just, I don't know what she's doing, but she's been around here for a minute. I think there's like some Vietnam levels of attritional warfare going on out here. Columns of Chaos Dwarves with their blunderbusses marching through valleys of decrepit desert, just to have a few archers pop out and ping one or two of their frontmen. What an image. Manfred von Karstein is now sallying out against the Khornate, but they managed to run away just in time. I don't know if Manfred's gonna... Nope, he used up all his movement range, and the back and forth continues. Our ally, the Ghoul King, now is advanced. Doglin! Leif Erikson has decided to run away into the Blast Expanse. That's fine with us. We don't want him here. We got some random nobodies here marching around. A bunch of Wood Elves have decided the best place to be is to march through the Badlands. Not a very good spot to be, Thalandor Doomstar. I don't know how much doom you can bring with arrows, but it better be something of value. Okay, so Clan Moors has been obliterated. Clan Moors was right over here. That's not good because the dwarves are a worse replacement. Dwarves are very stout. They have a lot of range potential, and they're going to be quite the opponent to our forces here in the Land of the Dead. But it would appear that now... Okay, hold on. Yeah, mission aborted. Skarbrand has returned. Skarbrand has returned. We're going to bring him up. We need to figure out how we're going to do this. I want to get him in reinforcement range.
Make way.
Our allies. And then we're gonna get we're gonna get Nagash out, and we're gonna start this battle. Skarbrand, of course, fleeing again.
I deign to move.
We're going to chase him down. He wants to run away. And we have got ourselves a valiant defeat. Alright, guys. We are going to save this battle for the next episode. Leave you on a cliffhanger just to be malicious. Skarbrand is back once more. He has got himself a horde of deadly melee units. We're going to see how well our legions of undead will handle that in the next episode. Thank you all for watching.